Okay, today I'm going to talk about engaging with what you want. All right, so this is a subject that I think is extremely important to taking on any project as an artist and even conceptualizing a project, just approaching it. And I think it also is just a huge thing to do with mindset as well. And I learned about this watching or listening to Abraham Hicks videos on YouTube. And I used to feel a certain way about that. Like I wouldn't come out to everybody and be like, I listen to Abraham Hicks, do you? I'd feel a certain way about it. And now I'm just like, if you vibe with her, I vibe with her, we all vibe with her, whatever. I got no hangups about it. And so there's this one thing that Abraham talks about that's so, I didn't get it at first. And she said, we could put down 5 popsicle sticks in front of you, 4 of them that you want and 1 of them that you don't want. And if I said pick one of them, every time you would pick the one you don't want, even though you have the shot at, the better shot at picking the thing that you want. And I didn't understand it at first. And then I got it. And I thought back to when I was on tour. I thought back to going into theater plays at school. I would always engage with the thing that I didn't want to have happen. I think, oh, this bus is gonna break down. Oh, mercy. We're gonna lose another tire on this thing. Oh, I'm gonna forget my lines. I'm gonna forget them. And the thing is that whenever I engaged with the thing that I didn't want, it would end up happening. And it's again, this does come back to what I talked about earlier with hope and belief, but it's the power of engaging with what you want. And when you put yourself in the vibration or the lane of what you want, then that's when it all starts. That's where it all starts. And you as an artist, you started doing this because you had a want, or you had some type of something just kind of exploding out of its own volition inside of you, just like, oh man, I got to do this thing, otherwise I'm going to go crazy. And for me, it was writing. I ended up doing it no matter what. And I first went into writing just with no fear. I would sit down at it's a coffee shop that is no more. It was called Pandoras Cup, right on Hennepin Avenue, and would sit down there for hours and just write. And I just had no hangups about it. I had no understanding of engaging with what I didn't want. I didn't know that I'd ever be able to record the tracks. I didn't know if the lyrics would ever see the light of day. I didn't know if I'd ever get onto the list at the open mic or the poetry slam to actually perform. But I just wrote anyways because I wanted to do it. That's what I wanted to do. And so I didn't let anything steer me towards thinking about, I don't want that to happen. So I just did it. And it impacted me in the beginning profoundly. And then as time goes on, you get a little jaded and you see kind of the darker side of the music industry and the film industry, and it can destroy your spirit a little bit. And I totally understand that happening. And for some people that has to happen for them to calibrate how they want to go forward as an artist. But getting back to the core issue, when you engage with what you want, it serves you to a level, just an indescribable level, because it's not something that I just can put into firm words, or I can just say, well, once you engage with what you want, this will happen. It's more so when you know what you want, and this is obviously relative to everybody, that project you want or the way you envision it, you engage with what you want and then kind of let go of the outcome, and it'll unfold itself. It'll just end up happening. Even like with this video right now, this is actually like law of attraction, engaging with what we want. We were gonna sit here and just do 2 camera angles and just 2 stationary ones. But I had this slider and I was afraid to use it because I was like, what if it doesn't work? What if it's too loud? What if it's clunky? And instead of worrying about all the things that could go wrong with it, I was like, ooh, this is gonna look cool. Let's hook it up. Max put it together and shucks, here we are. Now we're using it. And we charged up the gosh darn batteries and read the manual that I didn't throw out, and now it's happening. So, I mean, yeah, something could go haywire, but I'm not worried about that. I'm more present with the fact that it's working and this is what I want. And so, it's small. This is small, and I'm, doing videos on like just very specific steps. But this in particular is a huge step. And if you can keep a continual engagement with what you want, things are undoubtedly going to work out. And they may not work out in the way you wanted them to, but they're going to work out undoubtedly. And again, I go back to a previous video where I talk about outcome versus process, and how you can just let the process unfold. The outcome's going to happen regardless. And so engage with what you want, and that's again a very general term, but this is to hit everybody that's into that's operating with within art, and whether it be film, music, painting, I don't know, anything. You have an idea of what you want or what the project is going to be at the end of it, and once you just engage with that, it's just going to unfold after that. And so that is my encouragement to you in any project that you approach. And in the realm of that, when I started my Patreon, I definitely had hangups about it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, and there was like 5 people on it, and I was just like, huh, and I really got down on it because I thought that this is what I don't want. And when I started visualizing, okay, what can this thing look like? How is this going to service people? Like, what is this going to look like down the road? And then I got that visual of it, let it go, and then it started to unfold from there. As long as I just kept my eye on that visual, that's all it took. And so with that being said, you can go to the Patreon at patreon.com/ToussaintMorrison and get a lot of unreleased content, early access content, and interviews with actors in upcoming projects. And then also, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below, and we will most definitely see you in the next video. See ya.